In this video, I'm going to talk in depth about a powder that I've used in handguns and in rifles. Gavin here from UltimateReloader.com. Here at Ultimate Reloader, we use a lot of the CFE powders. That stands for Copper Fouling Eraser from Hodgdon, including CFE BLK, the topic of this video, CFE 223 for 223 Remington and other cartridges, and CFE-Pistol for a ton of things, 9mm, 45, a whole bunch more. So in this video, let's take a look at CFE BLK. This is a really cool powder. It was designed for 300 Blackout. It meters super well because it's a ball powder. It's got that copper fouling eraser that helps copper fouling from taking root in your barrel, eases the cleaning process, lowers maintenance, and is ideal for cartridges like 300 Blackout, specifically subsonic, and 7.62 by 39, where we've run it supersonic. Okay, so let's talk burn rate. CFE BLK falls roughly in the middle of Hodgdon's burn rate chart, which starts with the fastest powders, which are typically pistol powders, and ends with Magnum rifle powders, which are the slowest burning powders. As you can see, it falls a little below powders like H110 and Winchester 296, which are essentially the same powder. We've used those quite a bit in handgun cartridges like 44 Magnum. So CFE BLK, being slower than H110, is suitable for cartridges like the 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum. And as I said, we've also used it in supersonic 7.62 by 39 and subsonic 300 Blackout. Okay, ideal cartridges. This is expanding on the list I talked about previously. 300 AAC Blackout, 7.62 by 39, 17 Hornet, 221 Fireball, and we have used it in the 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum. Let me go over some of the results that we've gotten, and you can check out these complete stories. We've actually done more than what I'm going to share here. So 7.62 by 39, I pulled up a couple of results from 123 grain bullets. We've got the Barry's 123 grain 7.62 by 39 plated bullets and Hornady's 123 grain Spire Point bullet. So both of the results, two different articles, two different years when I published this data, were right in there between 2,313 and 2,339 feet per second. And the SD in both cases was right in that 17 foot per second range. So that's very consistent for an AK-47. Really happy with those results. And again, since it meters so well, it's very suitable for use on progressive presses. Then 300 Blackout. We had a lot of fun with 300 Blackout, including full auto. It was a different machine gun than this one, but same kind of basic idea. Suppressed, subsonic, 300 Blackout is just a ton of fun. It's so quiet. You'd swear it was a 22 LR going off. Just really, really fun and really practical for applications where noise is an issue. So here we were right under the speed of sound. Our spread on this looks like 72 feet per second with an ST of 29 feet per second. So I think with a little bit of tuning, it's likely that we could have probably gotten that down just a little bit. That was with sub-X bullets. Okay, 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum. I couldn't find the exact chronograph data here, but with a 350 grain Hornady XTP, you're going to be at around 1,800 plus feet per second. And with the 500 grain XTP bullet from Hornady, you're going to be right around 1,600 feet per second. So again, really, really solid performance and really great for something potentially like hunting with the handgun. Lots of good things that you could do with CFE BLK in the 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum. Okay, let's next take a look at CFE BLK under the microscope. Okay, so I have my 400 power microscope set up over here, and we've got a selection of powders I thought would be cool to look at side by side. We've got the CFE BLK, CFE-Pistol, H110, and Varget just for fun because it's a short stick powder and is actually quite identifiable. So that's what we see here under the microscope. And if I take this steel rule here, it has 1/64 of an inch increments here. We can see that. And then I'm going to move this down and zoom in so that we can see even more detail. Let's take a look at what happens when we magnify this just a bit more. So there we go. The CFE BLK appears to be pretty much a perfect ball powder, spherical granules. But when we look at the CFE-Pistol, it's kind of interesting. We have a mix of very flattened balls, almost flakes, and spherical elements. The H110 looks like a pretty consistent, slightly flattened ball powder. And then, of course, with Varget, you've got a couple things. Cylindrical granules, and you've got that very classic, slightly green tinted brown granule appearance. So these are all going to meter incredibly well on a progressive, except for the Varget. You can definitely do it, but you have to be a little bit more careful and check your powder charge consistency a little bit more. And these are also different burn rates, obviously, but definitely interesting to see how these powder characteristics stack up visually side by side. So, in conclusion, CFE BLK is a very versatile powder for both pistol and rifle applications. Of course, the pistol applications are relatively limited, and on the rifle side, you've got both subsonic and supersonic applications. It's great metering in a progressive powder measure. A lot of the loading that I did was on the Hornady lock and load AP with the case activated drum measure, which worked really well. It's got the copper fouling eraser, which is a big plus. Definitely a great performer for 300 Blackout subsonic 7.62 by 39 and others, like I demonstrated the 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum in the handgun. My question for you is, what are you using CFE BLK for? Was it a cartridge that I didn't mention, or a different type of load, or different application? Drop a comment and we'll start a discussion. One thing is for sure here, we get a lot of use out of CFE powders, whether it be CFE BLK, CFE Pistol, or CFE 223, and you can expect to see a lot more of those powders in reloading features with chronograph data, performance data, etc. Thank you for watching. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. If you're interested in custom rifles like what we build here on the channel, or gunsmithing services, you're going to want to go to rifles.ultimatereloader.com and get on the wait list. If you want to learn lucrative gunsmithing like what I show here on the channel, including building custom rifles and Cerakote plus a whole bunch more, you're going to want to check out the Colorado School of Trades, schooloftrades.edu. Thanks again for watching.